Hello everybody and welcome back to Cube 2023 with the final panel of day 2. As always, I'm Charlie McQueen and I am joined today by Mandy Miss, Nova Does Gaming, Midnight Moon and Cosmic Vibes, here to talk about role-playing in Minecraft. Take it away, guys.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the Grand Prix that happened, the boat racing. And today we're just going to be talking about a couple different little subcategories of Minecraft roleplay and Minecraft machinimas, whatever you want to call it. It has so many different names. But yeah, so my name is Mandy, and I have been doing a bunch of different stuff on YouTube for a really long time, since I think 2017, 2016. I've been mainly making Minecraft roleplays and all that type of stuff, and getting into that type of content.
Hi everyone, I'm Midnight Moonlight. I've been making role plays since about 2019, 2020. I mostly so far I have been making improv role plays. I'm also a voice actor. I've helped out Mandy in a bunch of series, and I voice acted in a bunch of other people's series as well. Yes.
Hello,
You-
I'm Matt. We're Cosmic Vibes, but I usually go by Matt. I have been in the backstage for micro role plays for quite some time now, and I recently started doing my own role plays in 2019 now, and I do renders and skins.
Howdy, I'm Nova Does Gaming, Nova here, and I've also been in the Minecraft roleplay community for a little bit of time, and I make Minecraft roleplays along with some normal gaming content in the Minecraft community. So, yeah, howdy.
So we're going to be going over just a couple different subcategories. The first subcategory is how we would approach a new series, like a new Minecraft roleplay, machinima, whatever. Like I said, there's so many different names to it and all that type of stuff. So I will just go down the line and give our brief little summaries of how we would approach those types of different situations. For me, how I would approach a new Minecraft series is that I mainly really love going into writing first. I think that is the most important step in any sort of storyline to series that you're doing, if you want everything to be planned out and all that good stuff. I think the writing is the most important thing, so I approach that first, and I do little bullet points, and I organize my thoughts and everything, and I just get down all of the main info that I think would be really important for it. Then I would go into building, as that's one of my favorite parts of actually doing a series, is building everything and setting up the sets, and just having a fun time with that process. And also chiseling bits is always really, really fun. And from there I go on to and focus on I go into voice actors then, because I feel like voice acting is very, very important. And there was a whole panel on that earlier today, and I watched that one. It was a great panel. I enjoyed it very much. And yeah, I think that because starting with writing, then you can really flesh out how you want your characters to sound, act, whatever. So you can really get a full idea of what you want, for voice actors and how they sound, and all that type of stuff. And from there, all that's left to do once you have all of those main core things done is to just go through and film. I mainly use Blockbuster now, Blockbuster and Metamorph. So that way I can do everything on my own time, and yeah, that way I'm not disappointing people whenever I whenever I don't feel good and feel like I need to uh, cancel a body acting session. So Blockbuster and Metamorph have really helped me with that. And then editing is a very long process that I won't get into right now, but that's basically how I like to approach a series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a writer at heart. I love writing. But honestly, on YouTube, I've mostly done kind of more improv role plays, which is more so kind of fleshing out a general kind of gist of what you're going to do. I've done it with a ton of other content creators. It's always super fun. We're usually passing ideas back and forth, so a lot of collaboration happens there. So a lot of my time, it's more of jump in the game, talk about what you're gonna do, and then just record it and go for it. Which is a really fun way to do it. I've obviously done written stuff as well and recorded lines for that. And I enjoy doing all of that as well. But mine's a little bit more loose with just the improv role play that I've done.
I have also mostly done it improv. People like to get some body actors for like the non-voice characters, like set up roleplay applications and stuff, and then you have to schedule the recordings as well. But you have to get, but as well as skins, you have to. Hold on, I'm blanking.
You okay?
You got it.
It's
We
okay. I
believe
believe
in
in you.
you.
You can do it.
Yeah.
People
We're here
like
to
to
support
use name
you.
MC for skins and like picking out like random parts of the skin, like putting them all together into one skin. I know people have done that in the past for skins.
Yeah. I can also agree on the writing bit. Writing is super important, especially if you want to know what you're doing for a series. My biggest advice for writing is make sure you always figure out the end of your story, the concept and the theme that you want to tell, along with the beginning, middle, and then your end, because it helps bring the stories all together. And that way you're not making one long series that has no end. You could do that way, but it's always going to have like an ending. And so I approached the writing bit first, and then I brained up all my ideas. I conceptualized them, and then I put them in a more what's the word I want to use for a more. I will detail them more and make sure they fit right. If they don't fit right, that's when I know that idea does not work. But then after that, once I'm very happy with writing, I will then go into building and sending all the information to my team. Having a Minecraft team really helps. Like a Minecraft roleplay team really helps with production of the story. So you would send it to your team, see what they think about it, have them help you with building, whatever they're there for, and have assets listed as you're writing, like what kind of sets you need, what kind of skins you need, and then that's how I approach it. So, yeah.
Very useful information. Yes. But yeah, no, I think we all kind of approach it very, very similarly. With that type of like topic. I think writing overall is just like a huge like thing that we all just like approach first, just because like if you don't write anything, then like how are you gonna know like what to do next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just so important to have everything planned out and ready, or at least that's how I approach it. Everyone does it differently. Like we said, a lot of people do a lot of like improv stuff, and that's always so fun because it's kind of just like you go off and you do whatever you want to do and say whatever you want to say, and then it just makes like a funny little video. So yeah.
Yeah.
The next little topic we'll get into is like the best and the worst parts of production for making a well, mostly I think for like a cinematic, because when it comes to first person and improv, I think that a lot of people just kind of just go at it with like wing it, maybe. At least that's what I do with that type of stuff. There's a lot more planning that goes into cinematic stuff, but for me, I think the worst part about production is probably the planning for me, even though I said I loved like writing and everything, which I do. I think trying to figure out what goes where, how you're gonna do something, and I think that's the most like nerve-wracking, because I don't know, it's just it takes a lot of time to plan through and think of stuff, and then you go back and you start writing, and then you think of plot holes and in the story, and then you have to plan around the plot holes and then you have to just like think about just a bunch of other stuff. But once again, yeah, no. And then my favorite part is obviously the writing. I just love storytelling. It's one of my favorite aspects of the whole process, is that, and also editing. I find editing very chill.
Okay, I'm about to. Okay, my worst is editing. I don't like editing.
I'm
I
with
love
you.
I love seeing the final product, and it's so satisfying once you're complete. But oh my gosh, editing itself drives me crazy. It's just so much stuff to worry about, putting it all together, finding great music for it. If you have lines that you need to go over it and you didn't put them in before, it's just, for me, that stresses me out. But I mean, the writing itself is my favorite. As I said before, I'm a writer at heart. So I write scripts all the time. They may never see the light of day, but I just love writing. So that's my favorite part. And especially when you can see what you're writing when it comes to life like that, it's so fun and so rewarding.
I personally like my editing. I
Okay, I'll
find it
leave.
fun. But the writing, I'm not that great at. Um, Improv is much easier for me whenever it comes to writing, but my personal favorite in the doing Minecraft roleplays is the thumbnails and the skins, because that's like when you're about to post it and you get to see like the final product.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Midnight for sure.
Yeah.
The editing has became my worst nightmare in most cases in anything I make. But I still find the joy in like when it's all finished. It's really fun. But I gotta say my favorite part about it is just the creative process, seeing the ideas flow into my brain about the story I want to tell, and then collaborating with the team that you are working with, whoever that may be, even if it's just yourself. It's like very like fun. You get together and make so many memories, and but the worst part, in my opinion, is when you're scheduling stuff. That can be very difficult when you're all across time zones and you got to get people together. You want to work with everyone, and sometimes it's a hassle, but it's sometimes fun because it's like a little puzzle piece, but it is the worst part. So it is very painful to work with schedules for sure. But in the end of the day, as long as you're creating something, that's all that matters. So, in a way.
I honestly, I always love the getting to know new people and working with a bunch of different people and making those memories. Like I've met some of my best friends through doing this and making content, just in general, whether it's like a role play or like SMP or whatever. Like I've met some of my really close friends through doing that, and I honestly just making those memories is such like a great. It's just a great part of the process of production and all that type of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meeting all
The
the new
next,
people.
yeah, meeting all the new people. So the next one we're gonna go on to is marketing your series, marketing whatever type of series you're doing. This could kind of go for anything that is like Minecraft related, whether it's like just like a series, like whether it's like a Minecraft roleplay or a machinima or an SMP or anything like that, or if it's just like a single player one. One of the things that I think is really important to get people to just kind of like get like people's attention is like your aesthetics, which means like your thumbnail, like the colors that you choose to choose and all that type of stuff. I think that's really, really important. For me, what I like to do is I like to turn up the brightness in a lot of my thumbnails. I don't know if anybody notices that, but I like that. And I also have designed my character a little bit just because like purple and yellow are both complementary colors, and I think those are two like great colors to put on a character, and they're also two of my favorite colors, so that works out for me really well. So the purple and the yellow are just very like eye-catching and just like they pop a little bit on the screen, so that's why I like to use them. Other colors that really pop on thumbnails and stuff like that are like red, green, like, you know, if you ever see like those thumbnails where people have like an arrow to like this in Minecraft, and they just have like an arrow to the other thing, it's
Color
usually like
theory.
a red or green arrow because it's just very eye-catching.
What does Matt Pat say?
What does Matt Pat say?
It's just a theory.
Just
Color
a
theory.
Color theory.
Something along those lines. Sorry.
Yeah. You're okay. Also like renders and stuff like that is also important, because if you have a good like render maker, then your thumbnail's just so set, right, Matt?
This guy.
Yeah. this guy.
Everyone turns and looks.
So yeah, personally, how I would promote a series is I would just post it everywhere, like YouTube, a teaser on TikTok, a teaser on Instagram Reels, a photo on Instagram, like put it everywhere. Plaster your series everywhere, and post like clips from your series everywhere too. Like just put it everywhere you possibly can. Honestly, it'll pick up somewhere. And right now, TikTok is actually like really popping. It is the vibe right now for this type of content. There's a huge community over on TikTok, and I had no idea.
I should
For
probably get back
specifically
into
like
TikTok.
Minecraft role plays. Yeah, like specifically for Minecraft role plays and shinimas and all that stuff. There's a huge community over there, so that's a great area to promote yourself as well. Is on TikTok, honestly.
Okay, well, if we're gonna talk about color theory, I mean, my character wears a lot of black and white and gray, so I don't have the colors that Mandy does. But I mean specifically if I'm
okay.
doing, yeah, I know. If I'm doing renders, I actually usually make the contrast really different. So I make my darks like really dark and the lights really bright. That's how I usually do my renders. On my more roleplay-esque stuff, I actually switched over and I actually had one of my friends of mine actually draw my thumbnails, so they're all hand drawn. They look more realistic. I loved them. I would send her these terrible drawings and be like, "Hey, can you make this good?" And she would every time. So that's kind of how mine were. For promoting wise, I totally agree. Any platform that you have, I personally don't use a lot of platforms. I use Discord most of the time, and then Twitter a little bit, and YouTube. And so whoever finds my stuff finds my stuff. But yeah, whatever you have as a platform, use it to promote your stuff because people will want to see it.
I notice people like to switch between renders and like actually getting drawn thumbnails nowadays.
Yeah,
But
it's
Mhm.
fun.
yeah,
It works for certain series. One works, and then yeah, words.
one
Yeah.
thing that Manny likes to do for the thumbnails is that she just sends it in a little chat for me and describes what she wants, and then I put it together as a render. But I personally like to zoom in the renders whenever I put them in the thumbnail to fill in the empty space and then put the little logo in the corner. I'm not
Yeah.
that great at the photoshopping part of the colors, but people sharpen their renders to make it better.
To
Mhm.
make it stand out more from like the
Yeah,
background, and
Yeah.
blurring the background in a thumbnail is also really good. So that way the characters that you want on the thumbnail pop even more.
yeah.
I do agree on using social media to share your series and like creating a brand that really speaks about your series and like utilizing art, utilizing graphics, creating a social media, what's the word, calendar where you set certain dates to launch your MCRP. This is like a sneak peek of what I'm going to be doing for future role plays is like just creating a social marketing plan. But anyone can use this for anything, even if it's just a business. But marketing for role plays too really works. Sending out what graphics you want to do to promote your series, and you can like collaborate with your fellow, friends, and just definitely post anywhere. And both art and rendered thumbnails work. So, yeah.
Yeah, drawn thumbnails though are gonna cost you a pretty penny, so keep that in
Mhm.
mind though.
Unless you have a really good friend.
Yeah.
Unless you have a really good friend
Unless you
who
have a
loves
really
you a
good
lot.
friend who's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, of course."
Pay your artist though. Very important.
Pay your artist. Pay your artist.
Pay your
Be good to
artists.
them. Be good to them.
Give them,
Always.
give them credit. Always
Give them credit.
anybody
Always
who's
in
ever
your
worked.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
also don't be spamming your Minecraft role plays. Just like I said, spread them out. Like don't like be spammy about them. That's not a good way to do it. But like spread it out.
a
I've seen people do it.
calculated plan.
Yes.
Calculated
Very algorithmic, whatever the word is. Math terms. So yeah.
Yeah. The next topic that we're going to get onto is navigating the community. So basically talking about how to interact with your community and how you like interact with like the MC community in general, and just like networking and all that type of stuff. Because I think people bring up networking a lot, and then people are just like, what's networking? And it's just talking to people and meeting people. That's all networking is. You know what I mean? But for me personally, how I interact with my own community is I put up a lot of I don't know how to say this correctly, but I put up a lot of walls between myself and my community, if that makes sense, because I am quote unquote older. I am 26 years old, and a lot of the MC community is like younger children. So I feel like for me, putting up a barrier and putting up a sort of like wall to where people can still contact me if they want, but I have like my requests set to, like private on, well, not private, like only friends can message me, or if you share Discord with me, you can only message me that way. Boundaries is very, very important if you are like for anybody's age, honestly. But yeah, boundaries, putting them up with your community is good, but also still trying to connect and talk to your community is great. I only do it through like a public forum, I would suggest, unless someone is like, like DMing you for advice. I think that keeping up that boundary is always like good, honestly, because like there have been like a bunch of situations that have happened that I won't get into and I will not speak of, but it's just good to always keep up a boundary as a creator. Whenever you are interacting with your own community, not to say that you have to be distant from your own community, but always keeping that boundary between you and people who are obviously younger or older than you. Especially on the internet, because there are weirdos on the internet. So
Uh-huh.
Keep you and
That is for
yourself
sure.
safe. Keep
Yeah.
them
keep
and
yourself
yourself safe.
safe.
Safety
Yeah, and then-
first.
You and yourself safe. You're very important.
Exactly. But also, uh that also just goes for like networking and talking to other creators, because like personally I get DM'd by a lot of smaller creators sometimes, and they're just like, can you be my friend? And I'm kind of just like, I know I'm significantly older than you, so no, I'm sorry. Just because that is a boundary that, again, like you have to keep between yourself and like another person who is like, like when you're a creator, you are in like the power, you have the power over another person, especially if like you are a bigger creator and you're talking to a smaller creator. You are in the position of power there, and you kind of have to put like distance from like yourself and that other person, because like you don't want to, you know accidentally like abuse that power that you have over another person, if that makes sense. When you're a creator, you are a role model and people are looking up to you, and they want to be like, then they want to do stuff like you, and they want to talk to you, and they want to, get to know you and stuff. But it's always just important to, put up that boundary.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. I mean, you are a role model for people, which can be like a really gratifying experience to have people look up to you and be like, "Wow, I really like love what you're doing. Like this made my day." It's really nice to see that. But also at the same time, I'm always like, this is me online, but I have my own life, and I don't want that to also be online as well. So there's definitely a separation there. And I think it's good to have that separation and be respectful of like interacting with other people, but also being respectful of like yourself and other things that you have going on. Networking, I mean, I've ironically networked quite a bit actually, kind of unintentionally. Kind of just watching people and being like, hey, they're cool. Wow, look, they have applications open to help like Body Act. And then I applied for that, and now I know some of these people really well. I've ended up recording with some of these people for my own channel. I mean, that's how I met Mandy. um, and now I voice act for you. So networking is, it's just keeping your options open, always being on the lookout for stuff like that, but also just developing friends for that throughout the community. You can find some really fun people. I think the Minecraft roleplay community is one of the coolest communities. Everyone I've run into is always super welcoming, and wants you to be there. And they're always looking to do projects of their own, incorporating other people, talking about other people's projects. So it's just really great community and all.
you never know when you apply to in a studio that it can take you. Like for instance, I
Yeah.
applied to be for a body actor for Mandy, and now I'm
Yeah.
here by her side. One of good, we're good friends now. But it's very. I think it's very important to keep a boundary between you and as a bigger creator, it's like important to keep a distance because you don't want to accidentally dox yourself.
Yeah, don't do that. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also don't want to accidentally like cause any harm to like
Yeah.
anyone else too. It's keeping yourself safe and it's keeping others safe by putting up a boundary a little bit.
hmm So safety is very important. There's other ways you can definitely like look out for networking is like Minecraft forums or like definitely Discord servers. There's definitely a Minecraft roleplay community server or two hanging around on Discord. One other way that I found that networking really works is like asking for feedback about your work, posting it in those forums in those Discord servers, because it's very like helpful to get that feedback. And you never know, someone might offer to help you along the way, and like you can also help them. It's like a win-win situation. Like no one, it's like it's definitely another form of networking, and just like staying up to date with what's going on in the community and like looking up hashtags on YouTube because we have the internet and the social media now. Like your hashtag Minecraft roleplay, seeing if anyone's posting those what are they called, the applications and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah, like looking out on YouTube and stuff like that for Minecraft roleplays are gonna be like for applications for like open teams and stuff like that is definitely a good way to get yourself to put a foot into the community. But you also like like pick and choose which ones you want to go into. Like definitely like low key not stalk the creator, but check out all their social media. Like check out like what they're posting if you agree with what they're posting before you join anything. Like see if you like check out their Twitter, see what they post on Twitter, check out their Instagram, see what they post on Instagram. Make sure that you align with the creator that you're going to fill out an application for, so that way there's like no wires crossed or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes, but YouTube is definitely a good place to look for Minecraft roleplay applications, and also in other like creators Discords. If you just join those, eventually they'll post something about an application if they have open applications or anything like that, and you can just kind of like make friends that way. So yeah.
I know some
Mhm.
people have a self promo in their discords that
Yeah.
other creators like to promote their stuff there, and that's how you meet other people as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
So the next one is going, so the last topic that we have, so this is going to be the last topic that we have, then we'll go to questions. But the last topic that we have is the Minecraft workspace, because believe it or not, yes, there is a workspace behind Minecraft. It's insane that I never thought that there was a workspace behind Minecraft. There is like a way that you can like, maybe do something in the MC community as a job, or like work your way up to something like that. Like even being like a creator is also considered like a job if you make enough money to sustain and support yourself. So just going over like experiences that I've had for like voice acting or creating for companies or anything like that. I have worked with a couple companies within the Minecraft space. If you guys don't know, I voiced a character named Tangle. And I
Lovely.
did that channel for a company called GLG a while ago, and I did that whole stuff for them, and that was like my first like job within the MC space. And then I also did some voice acting for Black Shore, which was really really fun. I voiced Vanessa in another like FNAF type related series for them. And then I also worked with someone who was recently there. I worked with another MC server named Hideaway, and I created TikToks for them. So that's pretty cool that I did that. Yeah.
Jumping.
I love
And
that.
yeah. And that's what I've done. I made a couple TikToks from them, so that was pretty cool. So like opportunities, how I've found, I've always had people come to me because I've just been in like the space for so long that I've just kept creating content, and people have like emailed me or messaged me and offered me like, hey, like, are you interested in doing this, are you interested in doing that? And I definitely think that not always responding to those right away is like necessarily like a good idea, because you want to look around and see like what is out there if you feel like you're ready to go in that step to where you could be in a professional setting. Always research like what company and what they're offering you, and always research like what, like, you know, knowing your worth is a huge thing when it comes to like freelancing, because that's what I do. I freelance. I am a freelance voice actor, I'm a freelance writer, and I've done a lot of writing for other people as well. And yeah, I think that just kind of like knowing yourself and knowing your worth and knowing what you think is like reasonable for you to charge people. Like knowing like your rates and stuff like that is also very important. Like it, and deciding whether or not, you know, knowing what to charge for your rates is also really important. It just depends on how long it takes you to do certain things. For me personally, it takes me like maybe 30 minutes to do lines for like one episode of a series and stuff like that. So I think that is also like very important. Just do it by the time that it takes you to do certain things. That's how, you know, artists do for like their art commissions. Like however long it takes them to do it is how much they charge for it. So knowing that is also good. But other than doing stuff for like professionalism and working with companies and bigger creators, I think it's also important to put yourself out there. And like the people on the panel mentioned earlier, casting call club to do some volunteer voice acting is really, really good for you to check out, so that way you can, you know, get some experience if you want to do VA work. Casting call club is also good not only for VA work but also for other stuff like managing and thumbnails and all that type of stuff. It has a bunch of different categories. That's not just for voice acting, but voice acting is like the main like driver for that website mainly.
Yeah, I was gonna say Casting Call Club too, because that is where I found the majority of my opportunities. Oftentimes I've voice acted for friends or just fellow content creators that I'm like closer to. I'm not as involved in the whole freelance VAing aspect of it, but I've VA'd for quite a few people. Um, yeah, it's a lot about just for voice acting specifically, it's also like knowing what voices you can do and like what voices you're willing to do for other people. Um, and also knowing that you want to work with the people and you want to submit these lines to these people and you know what you're doing, because sometimes content can be uncomfortable and sometimes that's just not something you want to voice act for, and you're allowed to say no, even if it's something that you want to pursue. um, like voice acting it's a hard thing. It's acting but online. They're hard jobs to do, but you have to be true to yourself. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, you have to say something. um, but yeah, I mean, for me, mine's a little bit more low key with voice acting. I've also written like small scenes for some friends as well, so I do a little bit of that, but I'm definitely more low key in the community in general.
I personally like to do voice acting just like for fun and to get experience, but I voice act for the Pink Diamond Diva, but at first I just replied to a Twitter tweet and then I got accepted and now I get paid for it whenever I do voice acting for her. So you don't know what you never know where it can take you. But I also have my own commissions that I do for people. Like Mandy commissions me for renders, and I do skins for people as well. Currently on hiatus on that, but you can do your own side things as well and promote yourself on social media.
Yeah, another thing that I guess I should definitely try to note here, when you are a Minecraft creator or any kind of creator in general, no matter who you are, another thing to be weary of and professional of is sponsorships. You will always have an opportunity to do sponsorships, whether it's with a Minecraft server or just something related to like a job within Minecraft. as well as other sponsorships. I want to emphasize on Mandy's point is make sure you're doing research and make sure that sponsorship is not spamming, because I've definitely got a few that were very sketchy. I've also gotten a few business emails where they were like, we would like to work with you on certain projects that definitely weren't what they say they were. So just be wary. And also be careful with those third party sites of when they offer you like, so what was it that was very big back in the day? It was just like they would pay you for that kind of stuff. Third party sites sometimes don't really go very well. So just be very wary, but also be professional with that. So yeah.
Yeah, like when you start creating and you get a business email, which it can just be like a Google email, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You'll notice that you like, even if you're like so small, like 1,000 subscribers or like 500 subscribers, you'll notice that you might get some like sponsorship emails or like companies just like spam your email. Usually noticing like what a good like sponsorship email would look like is where they list out the details. They list what they're willing to offer. You know, they have like, you can look them up on other social media. Like, don't click any links ever in your emails, please. But you know, you can search yourself their social medias, like what they're about, like, and all the type of stuff. And also making sure that like if you're a Minecraft channel, you're obviously not going to want to be promoting something like clothes or
Yeah.
makeup, or you know, you want to know what's going to be good to
Or
promote
a
to your
supplement.
community. Or yeah, or a
Definitely don't
supplement.
sponsor supplements. I've had a spamming like company try to ask if they wanted to do a sponsorship with supplements, and I'm like, no, thank you. So keep with your
Yeah.
brand. That's the big thing. Like Minecraft servers, like Bisect hosting, they do a lot of sponsorships, but they also have applications where you have to do partnerships and sponsorships. So it's kind of like you gotta just keep your opportunities open, but also like research. So
Be careful.
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like another like any like Minecraft like server that you want to partner with, usually if you go on their website, they'll have applications open for creators where they'll give you a code and then you can make a commission off the code sometimes, and then you know they'll give you like assets and stuff, and all you have to do is like stream on their server, and always make sure it's a server you like, you want to, you know, promote and stuff like that. But same thing with like Minecraft server hosting companies. They will always have like an application like somewhere on like their website in order for you to, you know, like get a code and earn a commission off the code. And all you have to do is like promote their little tiny Minecraft server hosting company in like your video for like 2.2 minutes. That's about it.
bada bing, bada boom, you might have a little business with your Minecraft stuff. Woo!
Exactly.
So yeah.
But moving on, if anybody has any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. If you guys want to look in the Minecraft chat, you're more than welcome to, and I can look in the Twitch chat.
I think Lynn has a question.
As we wait.
As we wait for the question.
It's all good.
It's okay.
Oh.
Ooh. How would y'all recommend for a younger creator, 14, 16, to start getting involved in the MCRP/MCTV community, such as voice acting, body acting, building sets, and even directing? It's something I really enjoy, but I'm clueless on how to get started.
That is
Personally,
a very good question.
That is a very good question. If you're younger, I honestly feel like it is very important for you, particularly like if you're a minor, know what you're getting yourself into, do research on the people who you eventually want to work with, and make sure that you protect yourself, like most importantly, like do that. But the ways that you can get into stuff is by, like we said, looking for like Minecraft roleplay applications, and you can, you know, apply for those, see if you get into them. A lot of Minecraft roleplay applications, I noticed, they have like limits on age. So yeah, they have like a limit, like an age limit that they would want to work with and stuff like that. But I think that's a really good way to get into it, is applying for those types of applications through other creators. But always do like the research on the creator that you want to work with first. Like make sure that what they post aligns with you and what you are about and all that type of stuff.
You can also usually tell like creators who will post that kind of stuff. Like some creators are very much so like, "Hey, I'm posting a new application," and some just aren't. So sometimes you can kind of, if you find a creator that you like and you see they've done that in the past, they'll probably do it again in the future as well. So like if you find someone, but also like don't be like, "Oh, this person never does it. The opportunity is never gonna come up." You just never know, but sometimes you can just tell there's might be a little bit of a pattern too.
Yeah.
The first, I will like to know, the first thing I would definitely do as like a step forward is definitely make a social media platform if you can. Um, and also uh, think about like all the stories you want to tell and like what their theme is, but also like reaching out saying, "Hey, I want to make a Minecraft roleplay, but I it's hard to do it by myself." And watch tutorials. There's definitely tutorials on YouTube. Um, there's Mandy's got tutorials. I know that's a fact.
Oh.
And there's a few others that have tutorials that show you how to use Blockbuster as a great tool for making your own roleplay single-handedly. But also, if you want to network, research the groups around you on Discord and see if you can ask if they would like to help. If they say no, it's okay. Just keep trying. It's the most you can do, because at the end of the day, someone's gonna say yes, and someone's gonna be interested. Always. There's like what? There's like 40 billion people in the world now.
Yeah.
Odds are someone's gonna want to help you, so keep trying, okay? I know
Yeah,
it's
but
really difficult, but keep trying.
yeah,
So,
don't get yourself into sketchy situations with people though. That's always
mhm.
like the main thing. Someone asked, what is usually the age limit for those applications? That depends on the creator. Personally, for me, I would say that my age limit, since I'm like older, my age limit would be like 17, 18 for you to apply. But that's just me because I am an adult. So yeah, that's just my personal preference, but it just depends. It's usually in like the info at the top of the application. If they're using like Google Forms, it'll tell you at the top. So please just read those. It's very
Keep within
important.
your age range if you can, but if someone's really nice and not pushing your safety to the limits, then if you can trust them, cool, but research first.
Don't lie about your age. Please be
Mhm.
honest. It's
Never
for
goes
Yeah.
your
well.
safety as much as it is for the content creator's safety that you are truthful about how old you are. Yeah.
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 There is a question about when it comes to creating a character description, when you want to look for a VA for that character, how would you go about the process of creating the description?
This goes back to my point about writing. When you write and you flesh out your characters, think about each character and how you want them to act and like how you want them to like, come across as. Like if it's a villain, you might want them to come across as like a morally gray. So write some things about them that, will, you know, come across as morally gray. Like for me, a morally gray character is like, oh, I will hate everyone on the earth but you. Like, or maybe something like that. But also good descriptions for that is like including like a picture of them, even if it's just like a Minecraft render. That's really good. It gives people like a good idea of what they'll look like, and also including like their age, their name, um their personality. Are they cocky? Are they smart? Are they sassy? Like all that type of stuff. And also giving like a little summary of the character, I think is a really, really good. So that way people know a little bit about them and their story and the story that you're trying to tell through that character.
For me creating characters, I like to go and pull up like a list of character traits and then just think of a character and run down the list and be like, is this them? And just write down all of the ones I think that describe them. And then I can obviously narrow it down. But I love doing that because I'm like, okay, I'm starting with the same list for all of my characters. And then I'll take it from there.
When you create the outfits, I know Pinterest is a good place to go to get inspiration.
I use Pinterest all the time.
Pinterest is
I have an unhealthy.
amazing.
Make your Pinterest boards.
My advice is when it comes to creating like the personalities and stuff for VAs as well is you can list tones of voices. Like say you think like also do a Q&A with your character. I've heard a lot of people give me this advice and I figured I should just also pass it on. But Q&As with your character, like ask them questions that you would ask yourself, like, hey, what's your favorite movie? Or what would you do if this person like, you know, yada yada yada. And just getting to know them through like a Q&A, and then to the end of that Q&A, like put in like what kind of think about like what the voice you want for that character is gonna be, and that's how I approach it. And if they have like a high voice, say like high pitched, or like if they have a sweet voice, or if they're like a mom character or something like that. Descriptions are very important with voice types. Yeah. So.
Yeah. One last question. I think we're close to the end, but one last question that I do want to answer is with certain Minecraft roleplay genres losing and gaining popularity, what do you think is the best genre to make a series on would be? I've seen so many different genres of Minecraft roleplay come and go. Like there is the Pokemon ones, and there's the apocalyptic ones, and there is the high school, the medieval, like the daycare, you know, a bunch of different ones. Honestly, look around it. The FNAF, exactly. Look around and see what other people are creating, and look around at other popular creators and be like, what are you creating? What type of content are you creating? Like, obviously, don't copy them. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying,
Please
like,
don't.
don't do that. But I'm saying, look at what they're doing, look at what they're posting, look what seeing is getting views for them, and then go off of that. So yeah, like don't copy creators, obviously, but like look around at other different creators and see like what they're doing, like how they are, you know, doing their stuff and like what they're posting. Right now, I think medieval is making a huge comeback. That's just because I love medieval, but also a really good one is just to do Minecraft, like high school roleplay. FNAF is also still chugging along. I think that is still something that does get views.
That is a
so
big
yeah,
one.
it's a big FNAF is a big one.
Also, don't be afraid to branch out to different genres. To be honest, I do want to see more different genres. Sci-fi, being attempted in Minecraft and some others that, I mean, I've seen a couple big ones that were sci-fi, and like fantasy, in my opinion, is definitely going huge right now. But don't be afraid to try different genres. Be a little spicy, spice it up.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Say, do what you want to do. If medieval's not your thing, don't force yourself to do a medieval thing because you're gonna lose interest in it so fast, and then you're just not gonna want to do it. Like, make something that you want to do, not even if it's not on trend, on brand. Well, on your brand, yes, but not on like popular with everyone. Be true to yourself. Because if you're interested in it and if you want to make it good, other people are going to find that and they're going to see how good it is and want to watch it.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, like if you're creating something and you're super duper passionate about it and you love it very, very much, people are gonna notice that and they're gonna be like, oh my god, they put so much work into their stuff. I want to support them and watch their series. And people will take notice of the amount of work that you put into your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we miss any questions from Twitch chat?
I don't think so. I'm not seeing
Are we brave
any.
to RP?
I don't think maybe. I don't think so. I'm looking through the Minecraft chat really quickly.
Yeah.
If anybody has any other questions, if we still have time, like throw them in. No, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
I think yes.
That was so fast.
I think yes.
There was such a fast no from Mandy and then such a fast yes from Nova.
but also no.
Oh
Yes
my
and no.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, and no, not as me.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise
How long
an
have-
instrument.
Someone asked how
Fire.
long we have all been doing RP. You're okay. I've been doing it for a very, very, very long time. I think since about like 2000. Take it this way. I know this by age. So like I'm 26. I've been doing this since I was like 18, 19 years old. I've jumped from channels though. That's the thing. I'm so sad. Never delete your first YouTube channel. That's my
Yeah,
advice.
don't do that.
I've been doing it a very, very, very long time.
I think I started body acting in 2019, at the end of 2019. But I think I started my channel, I think 2020. So I think I'm actually at about 3 years of making my own role plays, but 3.5, 4-ish years of helping out in the Minecraft community.
I'm pretty sure I like joined. I saw Mandy doing her first applications like 2017 or 2018, and then that's when I applied, and then I started doing my own YouTube channel like for about 3 to 4 years, I think now.
I'm in the same boat with Mandy. Don't delete your first channel. I had a first channel that was way back in 2014 when Team Crafted was still alive. To be fair, and I was doing Minecraft roleplays way back when, and then I stopped, and then I deleted my channel. But now, if we're counting this timeline, I've been creating Minecraft roleplays since 2008. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked, when it comes to making series, how many episodes do you think is a good stopping point? Whatever you feel like is good for you, honestly. Personally, I like to stop around like the 10 to 15 episode mark.
2018. Sorry, they're saying 2008. I'm like, no, I'm not that young.
I thought you said 2008 too, honestly.
It did kind of sound like 2008.
I was like, oh wow, I was in high school. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, you're okay. It's whatever you feel like is good for you, honestly. I do about 10 to 15. If I really want to push it and I have enough material, I do 20. But that's about it. Yeah, don't stretch your material too far. Like if you can end it at 10, end it at 10. Like do not like overstretch your material, obviously.
I've seen people do improv role plays for like 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Or more.
Filler is great, but also filler can be too much. So don't do a lot of filler.
Yeah.
Filler's stinky sometimes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go.
No,
go.
you go.
I'm done.
Talk.
You
Oh,
go.
no.
We want to hear you.
I believe in you.
No.
This
I was
is
gonna
about
say
you.
there was a.
This is hyping you up.
I was just gonna say, someone asked like, "Can we work for you?" I guess for the Twitch chat. And, like, team applications are available online.
I was just gonna say, my usually tend to be 20, 25, 30. And that's just how I write. I just tend to write longer. But it's really up to each person. Like I feel more comfortable writing slightly longer series. And I mean, there's always filler. You can't avoid filler. But I try to do less, but I feel like I always have more content to cover. So that's me personally. It really depends on like you. When you're in the writing process, you'll kind of get a feel for how long you want it to be and like how much stuff is going through your brain. It will become clear to you. And then if that number changes a little bit, it might change. And that's okay.
My range is anywhere around 10 to 20 to 25 episodes, depending on how long you want the series.
All of the above
I mean,
you chose.
yeah. I mean, to be fair though, I do have a series that's coming up that is going to be more than 30 episodes that I'm thinking about, but that's not set in stone. But it depends on how long you want the story to be, how many arcs are in your story, what the character is learning throughout your story. So, yeah. I always end my sentences with "yeah." Do you guys notice that? I think that's a nervous reaction.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. So, but yeah.
That's awesome, guys. Right, I'm afraid this is all we have time for, so we've got to wrap it up. But thank you guys so much for that panel. That was absolutely incredible.
Of course.
Thank you for
Thank you for
joining
having
us.
us.
Thank
Glad
you.
to be.
Thank you indeed. So that is it for this panel. We will be wrapping up for the night, but we will be doing a little bit of a goodbye segment just to wrap up the day. And we will see you guys in a little bit.
Bye, everyone.